Okay, welcome to, oh yeah, the wave. Well, there's a load of people out. I don't fancy waving. Yeah. Welcome to this week's MOTO Show. As you can see, you may see in a minute.
They can't see, can they? They can see a truck behind. They can see a truck behind, but they can't see. We're actually at the International Motorcycle Show in Birmingham.
Yeah, and it's pretty busy, I'd say, Joe. We're stood in the...
Milwaukee Yamaha stand, so they're doing a bit of a challenge, taking wheels out of a bike. A bit of a con, because I don't think there's a brake caliper on the bike there, so a little bit easier. We had planned to do this outside, so it's so freaking cold. We thought we'll come inside, get a coffee and warm up, and then do the intro.
Okay, well, as I say, it's the show. We're actually doing the show from the motorcycle show this year. The MOTO Show from the motorcycle show. Sounds good. Anyway, so basically, the brief of the show really is to have a wander around, pick some bits and bobs to look at, hopefully spot some people to talk to, interesting people and characters and stuff, look at bikes, and but we're going to start with our normal thing really, news. This week, Porcel racing back in America again, outdoors only, no supercross.
Yeah, great to see Porcel back there. He's one of those riders that could have done so much more with his career. And in fact, both Porcels have an awful lot of potential, and through injury and all kinds of difficulties they've overcome, but they've never really quite got to where they could be. See, Porcel got the a Supercross title there with the Pro Circuit, but last time he came back, he just seemed to mess around. He was Motor Concepts. He wouldn't turn up for training. The bike wasn't there. All kinds. It does seem like he's trying to do something to get his funds together. Really, he's selling his bikes. He hasn't got a closing line anymore. He's selling his US property. So perhaps the money's there, and that not there anymore. And that could be the motivation for him to return. Yeah,
doing training schools. You're obviously going to earn some money, but you're not going to earn the millions he was earning before.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we really want to see him back up there, but I just don't know. He can be a little bit too French at times, which means he's good sometimes, and at times he just doesn't turn up. So I hope he comes back well, in the same way that Sebastian and him, when they're on their game, are great riders.
Yeah, both riders, and it's a strange how both. Well, Sebastian's racing in Germany in a minute, well, this season for the ADAC Championships, but yeah, interesting piece really. Let's just hope he does turn up on the start line at Glen Helen. Other little bit of news really is the fact that Aaron Bates is moving on from the Supercross, and maybe there are rumours that other people might be doing the same as well.
Yeah, it looks like they are shaking it up a little bit, and it's something that perhaps Feld, as the organisers, feel they have. They've got a core audience and they've got a fantastic product. There's almost a touch of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but that's not what necessarily works. They sometimes need to move things on, change things around a bit, and just freshen things up. That's why they go to different venues and different formats and so on. They definitely are not complacent about their product, which would be very easy to be with such an impressive and such successful product as the Supercross series.
Yeah, it would be strange without Emig and Sheehan and who else is in the studio now for on the online shows? It's
Supercrossline.com.
Yeah, can't remember his name. Anyway, yeah, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna have a wander around the show, and we'll be back. Well, any second now, probably talking to somebody or showing you a piece.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Chinese bikes, obviously. I'm looking forward to the Chinese motocrossers. They'll always be very good. And I see behind us, we've got the CCM stand. CCM have to be like the Terminator of British motocross, because every time they take a massive hit, they can't possibly come back from that. And they crawl again from the wreckage, and they've got more products out there again. So we'll have a look at their stands there and see what they're doing.
They have got a nice stand, to be fair. It's nice.
Wigwam on it. We'll have to film that. There is a wigwam on the stand to recognise the Native American influence of stuff on their products.
Engines.
Yeah, could be. Who knows? Anyway, we'll have a look at their bikes and maybe a bit of a film.
Okay, we're at the CCM stand, and we bumped into a lovely lady from CCM, and you are?
Alice.
Alice, and what do you do?
I do the marketing for CCM motorcycles.
Okay, well, CCM has sort of disappeared from the motocross scene in the last couple of years, and you've come back now strong with a big stand and... yeah, new bikes by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've done. We've been working on some military contracts and obviously our racing team for the past couple of years. And then we've seen this massive gap in the market for a lightweight adventure bike that can really do what it says. And yeah, we've come back with a bit of a bang and caused quite a stir for this year's NEC show.
You brought a TP with you.
And we brought the TP with us, yeah, right in the middle where everybody can see. Yeah.
What's the reference with the TP then? Is that because it's outside off-road in the desert type thing?
Exactly that. It's the idea that you can go off and go on your adventure and put up your TP. It's also it looks completely different to everything else that's at this show. You know, the glitz and the glamour. We wanted to do something a little bit different and show what this bike fits into.
So basically, no more racing, but just purely more off-road travel, adventure-type bikes?
Yeah, exactly that. People that want to do their long distance riding, but can go off and do the adventures that they've been looking at on TV. So
we were talking about the teepee. So what's the difference between a teepee and a wigwam?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me the difference between a teepee and a wigwam.
No, you were. So you're from Bristol, near Glastonbury?
That's it. We should know all about teepees. Well, your colleague told me that the difference between a teepee and a wigwam was that the wigwam had the grass top on it. Is that right?
No. A grass top? That's a cottage.
A thatched roof. What's the difference between a wigwam and a teepee? Sounds like a joke.
I don't know. Is the wigwam got the pole through the middle?
Yes. Yes.
And the teepee hasn't?
Yes.
There we go. CCM are on the ball.
Right, we're here with Dylan Jones from the Yamaha Off-Road Experience. Dylan, people get a chance to try out the bikes today.
Yeah. Anybody who comes to the show can have a go. It's open to everybody. So it's been busy all week. We fill up usually within the first 10 minutes of the show, opening for the rest of the day. So it's really popular.
What bikes can they ride?
We're using the Yamaha WR250Fs, which are the enduro version, which are ideal for beginners to ride around, a tight circuit like we've got here.
And have you had a go yourself?
No, I haven't ridden round.
Surely there's got to be a lap that you could be. You could be the Stig of the Yamaha world.
Yeah, no, maybe have a lap later on in the week.
Do you do any riding still yourself? I know obviously you've gone much more to this side of things. How much were you actually getting out riding?
Do a lot of riding on the schools and stuff. Certainly throughout the summer months, we're out 3 or 4 days a week, and now we're doing some enduro training schools through the winter. So still get to ride quite a lot, but don't do much racing these days.
And do you miss not racing?
Yeah, I do. I keep saying I'm going to do some more racing, but it's a job to find the time, really. But I like to get out and do a few events every year.
And this year, the Yamaha have actually got around to homologating their bikes, so you can buy them from the crate, ready to go.
Yeah, the WR450 is now homologated, so it's ready for trail riding, enduro riding, which is good. You can just register it straight, easy. And the 250. They haven't done that yet, but it's on its way.
It seems a mistake not to have done both together, really, because it is how you miss out.
It is definitely. The WR250 is a brilliant bike, but obviously it would help if it came homologated for the road. But it will be. It will be when they bring out the new model.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Dylan. We'll look at a lap later on with one of your riders.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're on the Honda stand with Dave Thorpe. Dave from Build Base Honda. You just mentioned about you raced the weekend.
Yeah, Brad Lackey rang me about 2 months ago to do a race in Italy. Old boys on modern bikes. And as you know, I don't race at all now. I don't ride that much. But we went out there for a weekend. We had a wonderful social weekend and a lot of fun in the race.
Who else is there? Eric was there at Gaboa's and...
Yeah, Eric was there, Ricky Johnson, Guy Cooper, Eric Gabors, Danny Laporte, Brad Lackey. There was a few of the old boys there.
Yeah, so was it a race or was it just a bit of a jolly, really?
Well, as with all of us, even though we're getting a lot older, we're still quite competitive. So, it was a race. And, yes, I still do ache. And I struggle to stand back up when I do my laces up in the morning. But it was great fun. I really enjoyed it.
And it was on modern bikes rather than the old ones?
Yeah, it was all modern stuff, yeah. I mean, they had, it was sort of in the middle of downtown Turin. They had huge crowd there. It was really, really enjoyable.
Team for 2014 coming on nicely?
Yeah, it's all good. We've been testing well with Nez. Brad's got another 2 weeks to go now before he can ride with his hand. And we should be in a position to name our third rider on Monday.
MX1 as well, yeah?
Yeah, we run the MX1 team for Honda and DB Racing are the official MX2 team for Honda. So that's where we are.
British rider or a European rider?
No, a British rider. Yeah, it's all looking good. We're really pleased.
So you kind of give us a bit of a hint?
Could I give you a hint? I've waited this long and I've tried to sit on the fence for as long as I can. So a few more days. I'm just going to wait. I don't want to cause the boy any trouble.
Well, I think everyone is one of those secrets that nobody knows, but they do. But there we go. So apart from that, all good. Your team's fine. As you say, Brad, his hand. Was it that bad, his hand?
No, it's just awkward. I've broke the same bone, funnily enough, in years gone by, and it just needs some time. But he's fine. I mean, he's very busy at home at the moment, doing his house up. But he starts to train on December the 1st. That's his program started. We've got a test program with our new rider. We are really busy in the off-road school. The Honda off-road sales are going really well for us at the moment. So all in all, we can't complain. It's been good.
Excellent. And then for you now, do you guys sort of chill out over Christmas, New Year?
No, really. Ryan's really busy on the dyno right now with all the new stuff. The team, we're getting ready for our test schedule. And the moment test schedule finishes, we start building everything up. So although we get a week off for Christmas in the team, it's pretty hectic up until and then straight after.
Okay, well, we'll see you at the first round at the British again this year. And obviously your team will be complete. And good luck for 2014.
Hey, thanks ever so much. Thank you.
Okay, we've had a wander around. The first few, well, we've been around for about an hour or so now. There's been a few different things to look at. There's a lot of custom bikes, isn't there?
Yeah. The Carol Nash stand has always got some good stuff on that. It's the Backstreet Hero stand with all the Street Fighters and the chops and whatever. Obviously, it's very, very road based. Although this is off-road day, there's not an awful lot of off-road stuff here. We've come across to the BMW Motorrad stand. Has got a load of their stuff. They're older bikes here. One alongside us is an 1985 Paris Dakar bike, and it's a monster of a thing, really. To think you'd be desert racing on this thing, which just looks so heavy and so difficult to ride.
The weight of it must be, I don't know, it must be 30 kilos heavier than what they are now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a time that BMW were sort of dominating before KTM came into it. I think it was Gaston Raya, who used to be a GP motocross champion for Suzuki, was riding these things. No sat nav, none of the things you have now for the riders. It's undoubtedly hard now, and it's not even anywhere near Dakar. But at the time when they were doing this, they're just setting off with a map and hoping they get there at night time. If they don't arrive, then somebody goes looking. So pretty hardcore to be riding this type of machine over sand and doing it on your own with no particular backup.
And obviously the Dakar starts again, just after Christmas, which is normally a good race. Yeah,
and sadly this year without one of the best riders that America has produced, Kurt Caselli, tragically killed in an accident in the Barger 1000. Jenny Dick, who does the KTM press, said she was looking forward to working with Kurt on that event, and that's a huge loss to the sport, because he was really making a name for himself, and making Americans interested in that type of event, which they haven't in the past, really.
Okay. Right, as you can see, this is probably my best part of the job. With two lovely ladies from Victory Motorcycles. Introduce yourself.
I'm Keena. And I'm Amber.
And girls, are you here for the whole 10 days?
Yep, the whole 10 days for us. So, yeah.
Feet are hurting already, but...
What's the best bit of the show for you?
Just getting to interact with all the people that are here, to be honest. So had a good laugh with everyone.
And yourself?
It's gone down well, so I'm sure everyone will be happy. It's quite nice to be somewhere where you're interested.
And Keena, obviously, we know you anyway, because you're the girlfriend of Lewis Rose, ex motocross rider and now speedway rider.
I am, yeah.
How's he getting on in speedway?
He's just signed for all 3 leagues, so it's a good year for him next year, hopefully. We'll see what's to come.
And yourself, are you still riding bikes?
I still have my bike in the garage, but I'm just trying to keep injury free so I can keep working.
Yeah, because what was your last injury?
My wrist.
Was it really bad?
Yeah, I've got plates everywhere. I've got a pin there, plate here, everywhere, bionic.
And do you ride bikes as well?
I don't, as of yet. I might start, though, after this show.
Get some lessons off for Keena.
I know, she's going to have to teach me. Not if I'm going to end up with plates in my wrist, though.
Yeah, Keena. Yeah, obviously Keena. How many? You've broken quite a few bones, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder, my knee, my pelvis. So I've had my fair share. I've had enough now.
Okay, and how old are you now?
22.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So when
Find a new teacher.
So when you're 40, you won't be able to walk.
I hope so. Not the plan. Haven't thought that far.
So this year you've done the dirt bike show as well. Did you do EICMA as well?
No, I just did a dirt bike show for Arena Cross, so everybody get your tickets.
And yourself?
I did British Superbikes this year and MOTO GP, so along with a lot of car stuff. But
What team were you?
I was with Shaky, so Shane Byrne for Superbikes and PBM for Moto GP. So yeah.
Oh, good. Well, that's the girls from Victory Motorcycles. As you can see, it's obviously warm in here because otherwise they wouldn't be wearing bikini tops. But there you go. What bike? Right. So we'll catch you in a sec. Okay, we're on the what stand are we on?
WK.
WK stand. It's not the drink stand. It's
Blue Wicked.
yeah, wicked. Yeah, it's another Chinese importer, and interest in the dirt bike side of it.
Well, yeah, we've got this. We've got the WK 450 RX behind now. It doesn't take sort of much imagination to imagine if you put red plastics on this one. It's pretty similar to a Honda. Honda presumably would have something to say about this, but good looking bike, relatively cheap, but not entirely sure it's entirely their own design on this one.
No, there's definitely a very looky-likey type scenario around it, and yeah, see what happens in the future. But as I said, if you're at the show, come and have a look at them and make your own mind up, really. Okay, we've tracked down the elusive Husqvarna stand, and Adam's joined me from the mag, and we're going to talk a couple of little things about because everyone's saying that basically it's a KTM with white plastics. Well, there are noticeable differences, and the first one, Adam, that you've noticed is the subframe.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, they're kind of like KTMs with a few nicer bits on them. So the big two differences, there's the plastics, that makes them look different. The big difference are the forks. They've got the closed cartridge, they're really, really good forks on them. And they've got, instead of having the standard subframe like the KTMs have got with an aluminium subframe and a normal kind of plastic airbox, it's all a one-piece kind of stiff plastic subframe, which is a bit lighter and a bit trickier. So really, they're kind of like KTMs, but a bit nicer. But you do pay a bit more money for them.
Somebody was saying it's £300 more for a 250F or something.
Yeah, I think on average it's about £300 more. So if you add in the price of the forks, that's a pretty good deal, really. And I think if you were thinking about buying a KTM, actually with a Husky, you get a little bit more for your money, and they're a bit new and a bit different. And it's a pretty cool thing at the moment. Whether you like the looks or not is up to you. If you've got everything you own is painted orange, and you've got KTM through and through, then there's not a huge reason to change. But I think the white colour scheme looks pretty cool. The radiator scoops are different; they're a different shape to the KTM, but essentially the bike is pretty much the same, apart from a bit nicer.
Well, we've tested them in. You can read it in the mag. Was it the last issue, the magazine? And Dave Willett, our test rider, said very, very nice bike.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the other things is on one of our issues that Dave, our main test rider, always has with the KTM 450, for example, is that in the UK they come with a 4-speed gearbox. In America they come with a 5-speed gearbox, and he's always championed that he prefers the 5-speed. You buy a 450 Husky, it's got the 5-speed gearbox as standard. So if you're in the market for a 450 KTM, I think you should try and get a test on a Husky probably, because that's quite a big difference, and that's not just like bolting a pair of forks on. That's quite a big difference, really.
Okay, well, there you go. That's a couple of little changes, the most obvious changes on the bike, and obviously the colour. But we like them as a magazine. They are nice bikes, and it'll be interesting this year with a British team and also a GP factory team as well. So I would expect a few high places in the races for Husqvarna for their very first year. Okay, we've come to the end of our journey around the show, and as you can see, Julian's in the sidecar, just a bit like Wallace and Gromit, really. So, who are you, Wallace or Gromit?
I think it's the dog sits in the sidecar, so I've got to be nice one, Gromit. I'm Gromit. I think you're Wallace.
Thanks very much. Yeah, so it's been a good show. There is plenty of off-road here, that's for sure. You've got to have a dig around and find it, but. No, it's been good. What highlight for you, Ju? What's anything really? It doesn't have to be off-road. What was your highlight?
It's just a nice thing to come to. It's a bit like the dirt bike show. You come along to it every year to see the new stuff. There's some cool bikes here. The new stuff. There's some interesting stuff on the KTM stand. Nice to see the new Husqvarnas, the off-road stuff. Obviously, we didn't see that at the dirt bike show, but it's just come and see this type of stuff. And obviously, I do like the sidecars. That is absolutely lovely. I'm all over the sidecars. I've got many of them at home, obviously.
I gotta say, the sidecar style, it does actually suit you. With your case on the back as well. Are you going anywhere?
Can we go to the Maxis in this? We can turn up all the Maxis rounds on this in the Moto sidecar combination.
Sticker it up. Yeah, I think for me, the Carol Nash, you get people taking pictures of you, man. But no, it's been the custom bikes. They're very nice, I got to say, and just all the stands again. They look really cool. All the big stands. Interested if the Chinese manufacturers they got fairly big stands as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's one we're going to look at now, WWV. They seem to be remarkably similar to the Hondas. We're going to show some photographs of that, but I'm not sure what's going on there. But rather than design them themselves, they just seem to say, oh, well, that's a nice design. We'll have that. So a curious one, really. But I'm looking forward to grabbing myself a couple of new crash helmets, one for the road bike, one for the off-road bike. So I think it's off shopping time now. Okay,
well, that's it now until this is our second from last show until our Christmas show, which is around about the 17th of December. And hopefully it'll be stacked out with fun and Christmassy stuff and riders and stuff. But until then, we'll see you later.
We have to say thanks to Watsonian Sidecars for thanks for allowing us to act the fool on their bikes. So if I was buying a sidecar, I'd buy a Watsonian.
You would, and so would I. They're very nice too. So from us, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.